Hey, it's Aaron with the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care Podcast.
Hey, this is Tony's Lawn Care Talk.
Hey guys, Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life in Missouri.
Hey guys, this is Dan White with Lawn Care Unscripted.
What up guys, it's Phil with Phil's Lawn Care.
And you're listening to the Turf Nerds.
Live from Equip Expo 2024, it's Turf Nerds, a lawn care podcast with Evan Lindman and Greg Durbin, powered by Green Frog Web Design. Well, Greg, we finally landed at the Toro booth. Isn't this pretty exciting?
It is. It's really neat to see you. You guys have an incredible booth. We're really impressed with what you guys have set up here. So.
Now, who are we with? Jared, who are you? Who are you? What do you do with Toro here?
I don't even work at Toro. I don't know how you guys found me. No, my name's Jared Nuessen, and so I'm the product manager over our LCE division, so landscape contractor equipment. So Z-Master, Turf Renovation, all that that portfolio is underneath me.
Oh, well, this is exciting. I'm a proud MultiForce owner, Jared, so I could just wax poetically on the MultiForce. So let's just hop right into it. Before we talk specifically about the MultiForce, see you guys are kind of rebranding, though, too. What's the revolution going on here with Toro mowers? Like, what are a new product? I mean, we like battery, but we're all about gas and more power, as Tim Taylor would say, more power. So what's going on with the direction of the mowers, the riding ones and the standing? Like, where's everything going right now?
So there's a couple things that are happening in the industry, and one is when you think about riders. Let's go there first. So one is efficiency, and that's across both spectrums of riders, stand-ons, and really everything in the business. Even when you look at robotics, but on the riders, it's bigger cutting decks, right? Labor's hard to find. So
we know that, Greg, right?
Yeah. So it's
Is that why? I'm sorry to interrupt. Is that why they're starting to go to the bigger cutting decks now, like the 72s and such, because of the labor?
Yep, absolutely. And large areas cover more ground, less personnel. I mean, we did a study with our 144-inch cutting deck. And
oh man,
you can cover as much ground with that one unit as you can with 3 72-inch units. So you're trading in, one unit for 3 units. There's a price difference, but then you get into you only need one person instead of 3.
Yes.
So
we're all about solo operating here because no one wants to work.
Exactly, except robots, right? But
that's where the future's going right now. I mean, nothing against the robot mowers, but people are like vanishing, Greg, aren't they?
Yeah, it's been real difficult to find people. Although I like doing solo stuff, but some of the guys I know out there, we're on some groups on Facebook, and the guys are saying you see guys constantly crying for help. They can't find help.
Oh yeah, yeah. Finding the people, and then on top of that, the cost of labor.
It's through the roof right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, so we interrupted. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. And the other thing is horsepower, and you're seeing that on the stand-ons as well. When you look at that market, I mean, the higher horsepower units have really taken off, and that's really, it feels like it's accelerated this year. So it's kind of like you're getting extremes too, because then you get, when you think about gated areas,
yes,
and backyards, do you want to go and take a 21-inch or a 30-inch walk behind, or do you want to take a little mini stand-on?
The mini stand-ons are
much
fun.
more.
Yeah. So they're much more efficient, and so on that stand-on market, it's about horsepower and even 72-inch cutting decks, and then also all-season versatility, which I'm preaching to the choir on that one with MultiForce, but that's been just a huge value proposition for contractors.
Now, Jared, just to hop right into it, though, too, what was the kind of the brains behind the MultiForce? Because that mower's relatively new in the past, 4 or 5 years? Because you had the Toro Grandstand first, and then it was the MultiForce, correct?
Yes.
How did that kind of come to be? Because the MultiForce brings it into a whole different game. Guys, Jared will probably hate me for this. I have a MultiForce, and I don't have any of the attachments for it. So
shame on you.
I just have the cutting deck for it, but I plow snow with my buddies. They also have a MultiForce, and they have
admitted it. Crazy.
And they have the plow for it, and they have the mulch bucket. So what's kind of the obviously it's MultiForce. You can do multiple things with it, not just mow with it and have it sit for 3 or 4 months when it's snowing up in Michigan where we live. So how did the MultiForce kind of come to fruition with Toro?
Yeah, so it's like any product development that we do at Toro. We go to you guys. We go to the landscape contractors, and we say, because we have a very large footprint in the industry. So we go in there and we say, okay, what do you guys need? What is your day like? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? And so we spend a ton of time out in the field and traveling around. We spend days with contractors at a time. So we go out there, and this really came to fruition from, all right, yeah, you're cutting grass, but what else are you doing? And then we looked at that and said, how can we help you do those jobs better? And we had a pretty amazing team at product design, and so we went through a bunch of iterations, and eventually it came out with multi-force. Like, start out with, okay, a plow. Right?
Yes, and the boss, the plow technology on that with the power is unbelievable. Like the low flow system with the plow is crazy. Like Greg, like that multi-force you can push almost anything with it, not just snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could use it out in for leaf cleanups.
Well, they can get plow like plow leaves on it though too. So you have the plow, Jared, and they get the mulch bucket with it. And they also have the aerating attachment, right? Am I missing another one?
Yeah, so we have 10 attachments overall that we consider attachments. So you have,
forgive me,
two Boss plows, a 4-foot and a 5-foot, and then you also you can get extensions on those and whatnot. And then we have a snow thrower, 48-inch snow thrower.
That's right. Now that you say that, yeah.
Yep, and so I'm going to do my shameless pitch here. We actually have a heck of a deal going down. Save $1,000 on that snow thrower right now.
Is that an Expo special?
No, that's I think it runs through the middle part of November.
Okay.
So even if you're a fleet customer, heck, you go and get $1,000 off. So
that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. It's that unit hasn't gotten enough respect, in my opinion. But I am biased. So
nothing wrong with that. You got to be brand loyal and brand proud, right, Greg? I mean, we are.
Yeah. And so, okay, so we got the two plows, so the snow thrower, a power broom, for moving that light snow. It's really good, especially up in like Alberta. They're fantastic.
Like sidewalks, though. I think that, would you say, Jared, the power broom does a better job on walks and clearing all the snow out so it's just concrete, not leaving ice behind? Correct?
Absolutely, yeah. And then when you get into, let's say, spring season, you have the mulch bucket. We also have the dethatcher, the aerator, and then... let's see, the ProForce blower.
Overseeder? Do you have an overseeder?
We do not at this point in time. We don't at this point in time. And a leaf plow also.
We got to get that. Well,
do you know how much
do you know how much the leaf plow runs? Probably like $2,000, do you think, or something like that?
No, it's much less than that. I want to say it's like $600 or $700.
I might have to get one because I don't have any attachments for it. So that's half my problem.
But Evan and I are going to team up on our cleanups this year. Partially because of my leg surgeries. I can't carry anything over 25 pounds, so I can't even carry a blower around with me.
Oh, okay.
So, I've got the 90-10, and that's 30 pounds. So they won't even let me carry something like that. But the leaf plow would be probably pretty good. What's the biggest selling of all those attachments?
So the plows with snow removal is definitely just a massive benefit for contractors, especially in the north, obviously, because you're not going to buy in the south where there's no snow.
Up in Michigan, so
yeah, you guys are in a good spot for it. But then that mulch dump has been tremendous because
I got to get one of those. I got to get one.
Oh, dude, for sure. And people are finding, how people get creative. You guys do the same thing. Like we got the feedback. Hey, I move a ton of mulch, and move it with a wheelbarrow. Or, a machine that's $3,000-$4,000. And so then we developed this and people started using it. But then the next thing you know is hey, I actually do this with it too. Think of spring cleanup, picking up sticks, picking up garbage.
It works great for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it does. Well, it's funny you're talking about the mulch attachment and the plow attachment. So the big knock on the MultiForce for the longest time, Sean Spencer was the first person in our industry that got the upgraded front caster tires for the MultiForce. I finally got them. They're awesome. But the kind of knock on it was, because I don't think Toro thought about this, Jared, maybe no better, the original front caster tires you had on there were too small, like going over curbs and stuff, and it would smush down. I'm like, oh no! But my front casters were so worn, I was cutting an inch lower. It was crazy. And then once I got the upgrade kit, 3 inches was much higher. I'm like, holy smokes! And it's the same tire size. It's just wider. So what was the kind of the brains behind that?
Yeah, and that was feedback from the field, right? It was because when you have the mulch kit on there, that you want to have the pneumatic casters. Right, because otherwise your flat frees are going to pop off and things. It doesn't work very well. So we were doing that, and then it was feedback. Like, think about when you're mulching, right? You're probably going to have some soft turf, so you're cutting into that soft turf. And so then it was, how do we address that? And honestly, like, I would have loved like foot wide casters.
Yeah, get it bigger because it stripes better though too, in like my opinion. But where the dilemma is with the foot wide casters though, because the foot wide casters are on your riding units, but the way the MultiForce, like the deck frame is pitched with the deck, you can't get much wider because you can hit the scalp wheels, right?
If you're looking for another job, come work for our design team, because that's exactly what they told me.
So I'm a solo operator. I've been doing it 15 years. I got my MultiForce new in 2023. I only have 2,000 hours on it. Greg already knows this. I am I'm overly familiar with your product and your unit. So hey, Toro, hire me. I'm ready to go.
Well, send that application over, please. But no, that's where it came from. Was customers come in, and we've built a lot of relationships out in the field. So people come and say, hey, here's the deal. It's got another turf figured out, and then I take that to the design team and challenge them and say, guys, what can we do here? And I always try and ask for more, and they always kind of rein me in. And so we ended up with these extra large casters.
Nice relationship, though.
It is, and that's what we do very well within the Toro organization. Is we push each other, and that's one of the benefits of having so many brands underneath one umbrella. I mean, you look at Toro, Boss, Exmark, Spartan. I mean, you've got a lot of brands under that umbrella, and we challenge each other. We're competitive too.
So you guys, your subsidiary is Exmark, correct? You acquired them. When did you guys acquire Exmark? A while ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was in the early 2000s. It was a little
like 2004 or something like that. I thought it was like 04.
20 years ago.
I remember seeing something though online, but we're the big bad apple kick of the MultiForce. Now, has your TurboForce deck always been around prior to MultiForce, or was the TurboForce deck introduced when the MultiForce rolled out?
Yeah, so TurboForce deck has been around. I believe it was 2005.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Man, yeah. I must live under a rock.
Well, we call it one of our best kept secrets right now, along with MultiForce, because we don't talk about it enough. I mean, one of the guys on the original design team, he was an engineer, spent 5 years just out cutting different types of grass, different locations, and modified it. And that's how you get to the internal baffle structure. And then most importantly, the adjustable baffles. I mean, I think people don't use it enough. It is so helpful as you're working throughout the day when it's, you got dew on the grass in the morning. Let's say you get a little shower in the middle of the day. You can adjust your baffles, or you want to, get more efficient with leaf cleanup. There's a ton of advantages to that people just don't realize.
Well, it's funny you say that, Jared. So I always leave the baffle as far open as you can. And this past Sunday on October 12th, we had 8 lawns to go. It was raining all day. We were able to cut all the way through the day with the MultiForce. The TurboForce technology on the deck, I don't know if you can reveal any of the secret sauce. This deck is by far, I'd say, bar none, is the best discharging deck out there with wet grass. It can throw wet grass as far as it can throw dry grass. And what I did, you probably shunned me for this, so on the discharge of the MultiForce, there's that little baffle that it's bolted on there, like towards the corner. I took that off. I think the grass is even shooting farther, and the deck, it barely even cakes up now. It's probably shouldn't do that, but if it's just bolted on there and not welded, I think, hey, why not? I took it off, and it's ridiculous. But what's kind of the secret sauce of the TurboForce technology? Because it really is. It turbos the grass all out there.
Well, what you did, wet grass, you want to open it up, right? Which is exactly what you did. Now, this real secret sauce is, I tell you, I have to kill you. No.
Here we go. See you guys. Greg, have fun.
All right. Well, he said you, not me.
Greg's
nice
fine,
you guys.
Evan. Greg's fine. No, what it is it's like when you think about all the airflow underneath there, and you have all the different types of grass and different lengths of grass, so every single millimeter within the underside of that deck needs to go into consideration to get to where it's at. And that's why the engineer that I talked with that was on that original development team, that's why he spent 5 years just solely dedicated to making this deck, is he changed so many little pieces of that.
Man.
So it's not the adjustable baffle makes it so you can mow in different conditions, and that's one of the secret sauces. But really, it's all the other little pieces of that go into the machine, and that's really how we look at every piece of equipment. Like you can go in and look at price, but when you're running your business, an extra $1,000 on a unit,
it's a huge difference because it saves you time and money.
Yeah, in the end,
exactly.
Yeah. Are you guys the only ones that have the adjustable baffle then?
Yes.
Wow.
It's funny that you say the adjustable baffle. I always leave it open. I've never actually kicked back from the industry. My friends, Derek and Ryan with Metro Lawn Care, we had the same unit. They've tried to adjust it and bring it in, and it doesn't discharge as far as it would just leaving it all the way open. Maybe I'm wrong with this, but I think leaving it all the way open is by far best because you can get most of the grass out there, because if you close it in, it all cakes up underneath the deck everywhere. So how would you reply to that?
So I would say it depends on what type of grass you're in and what's the moisture.
No, it's true.
Yeah. So if you have like for wet grass, absolutely. And I mean, there's some tremendous decks out there. I'm not going to say, okay, well, look at an orange machine, bad deck. Not true. But they can't adjust it. So that bigger opening on the deck is going to allow you to throw
Airflow,
that wet
baby.
grass out there.
More power.
Yes, but then when you get dry grass, you want it closed off because then that recycles the grass within there.
Chops it up more.
Yep, and adds more lift to it.
Huh.
And then you get a cleaner, crisper cut.
I should actually try that. I've had it set from day one at the same spot, and I think I have to spray some WD-40 in there because it's just all set there on the same area. But that other, do you know what small baffle piece I'm talking about? It's near the discharge, not where the handle is, but the other side. It's this little half triangle. I just unscrewed it because it's where the grass comes all the way around. They have one little like blocking gap on the MultiForce where there's like a 1/2 inch and then a little metal piece. I took that off, and I tell you, it cuts way better even in wet grass. Like it could be anecdotal, but I think it cuts better. So
that little guy. So here's your deck. You're discharging over here on.
Yeah.
All right, your right side.
It's a
and
small,
on the
like
back
5-inch little piece. It doesn't gap all the way through to the part of the discharge, but it's a little piece. I just took it off. It cuts. I think it was an unnecessary piece that Toro put on there, but it was probably put on there for the reason. I could be dead wrong. So
okay, no, I'll take
Everything
that back to
has
the
a
team.
reason.
Yeah.
After the show, I can actually show you it though. If they take it off, it cuts farther because Greg took it off on his mower. He doesn't have a MultiForce, but he took it off on his, and he noticed that less clumpage underneath the deck.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because mine was actually plugging up where my baffle was toward the end at the discharge. It kept getting plugged up all the time, and so we eventually took it off, and I'm hardly cleaning my deck anymore. So
Really?
it's been really nice. And the other day I got under there to change my blades, and I got my scraper out there, and there's nothing here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice.
Well, yeah, let's take a look at that at the display.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more about this.
So we got the MultiForce, Jared. What's the riding equivalent to the MultiForce? But we've been talking with other booths though too. The stand-on mower revolution's really going. But are you getting more sales with the stand-on now with the MultiForce, or like how about like your Z Masters? Because those are tanks too, right? I mean, those are big boys.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for, right? In any situation, but the stand-ons. I mean, the industry is migrating towards stand-ons. It's been doing that for a number of years. And rightfully so. When you think about your field of vision, ability to hop off the machine, pick something up, safety.
Simple. Yeah.
You don't. Some people take them on some pretty steep hills. If it rolls, you just hop off.
Bail.
Yeah. Or if let's say another example that I've seen people use a grandstand in particular is you're going under some lower tree limbs or some brush. You hop off, you flip that operator platform up, and you just walk behind it.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It makes it fun.
Yeah. And space on your trailer.
Well, I usually just because I have a standard too, but I just squat all the way down and just hopefully I don't know where I'm going, but I think I'm straight.
Yeah, and if you don't hit something, you did good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I usually know if I hit something.
Yeah. So that's really we're seeing more growth in stand-ons, but there's still it's an enormous market for the riders, especially with homeowners with a lot of acreage. And then when you look at municipalities, a lot of the people that work there are a little older, maybe retired, and this is kind of like their pastime
They
job.
gotta sit. Greg's 80. I mean, he looks great. So I'm kidding. He's not 80.
No, I like it because I borrowed I had to take mine into the shop one time, and they gave me a rider as a loaner. And I tell you what, I was 45 minutes sitting on one lawn because it was a decent-sized lawn. I got up and I was going, man, I'm stiff. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
And this one happened to be, it was a Ferris, and it was actually really comfortable. But it was just sitting for 45 minutes. It's like getting out of your car on a 45-minute drive or something. It was just long. So, but that's why I like my standard. I just really appreciate it. And a number of the things you said, you're higher, and you can step off easier and pick something up. So those are some of the advantages. Exactly the reasons why I like it. The standard.
Now, have you heard this complaint, Jared? I think the MultiForce needs more horsepower. At 26.5, I think it needs 10 more. What's kind of the feedback with that you guys have got? Like, why can't you guys put a Vanguard 500 hour oil change thing on that, and make it a little bit bigger?
So there's.
Or is that too much to?
I agree.
Or do you not know?
No. So there has been
Sounds
that
like he's
feedback.
been trying to get that going.
There has been that feedback, absolutely, and we're looking at it. And that's in the stand-on market, it is like I talked about, higher horsepower. A lot of people are going there, and they're with the MultiForce, there is some opportunities for performance improvement in some very limited situations. So higher horsepower, yes. we're
Another
looking at
thing,
it.
though, too, what I noticed, the throttle on the MultiForce, I'll say this nicely, was someone not thinking of putting so on the throttle, mine doesn't slip, but others slip, and why haven't they had like an adjustable nut on the throttle to prevent it from slipping back? Like, how come they didn't think about that?
Okay, I have not heard that one. That's
So my throttle's fine, but there's a lot of guys that rank on their throttles, and even with X-Mark and Toro, sometimes the throttles pull back. Mine's fine, but a dealer, Schlabaugh's, they're tied in with Spencer Lawn Care. What they did, Ruben did, is they put a nut through it. So they drilled the rivet out and put a nut through it and made it an own tightening throttle. I'm surprised Toro didn't do something like that, because I also own a Cub Cadet stand-on mower, and they have an adjustable nut on theirs. I'm surprised Toro did, because it slips, and then throttles aren't cheap. Greg, these throttles are like $90. I'm like, $90 for a piece of big wire. It's crazy. So I didn't know if anyone's ever thought about that.
well, Evan, we got a parts business that we have to utilize to keep the lights on too.
Oh yeah,
no,
that sounds good with me.
I'm just kidding. That's
Might have to cut that out.
Oh, did I knock something? We keep this totally raw here, guys. We just need to keep it running. So.
No, that's good. We're great. With that one, honestly, we have reviews every other week where we talk about warranty claims and improvements on equipment, things that we could do. So that one has not come up, honestly. And Ruben at Schlabaugh's and Josh, they are tremendous.
Steve's the man. It's funny you talk about warranty claims. So my clutch went out on my MultiForce at about 1,650 hours. I was always engaging it and disengaging it on half throttle. But the book says for this clutch, you had to engage it on full throttle. MultiForce, it's a 2-year unlimited warranty, so mine was covered in, but it was a pain in the rear to change out, but I did it. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What do you know about that, though? Because it's been myths, like X-Mark, like some clutches say engage and disengage at half throttle, but with the MultiForce, it was saying do it on full. I don't want to burn my clutch out. Greg can tell you, I baby my machines. It's kind of sad how much work I do on them.
He sleeps with them.
Well, that's and I think it depends on if you have an attachment on there, what exactly you're trying to do at the same time. I mean, anywhere between half and full, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. And keep in mind, I am not on the design team, so there's probably engineers back in Bloomington, Minnesota. They're going, Jared,
what are these guys doing here?
But my product manager advice is half to full, anywhere within there. I mean, it's not going to have a huge negative impact. In my opinion, I might be off on that.
Because I was trying to figure out why my clutch burned out. Greg, what do you got?
Well, I was just going to back up a little bit. You were talking a little bit about your every 2 weeks. You said you have warranty meetings. Tell me a little bit more about that. I'm kind of curious. And one of the things that you were talking about earlier is and I'm kind of combining these two, is you're always talking to guys out in the field. And that's impressive that you're going out, you're talking with them. You said they guys are just constantly going out there and being with other folks, and then the warranty stuff. So tell me a little bit more about that. What you guys are doing with that?
Yeah. So let's start with the warranty part. We have a technical services team that does a very good job. All right. So they're very strong at supporting dealers with claims or questions on the technical side that come in. We also have a warranty group. So they log each of those warranties, like let's say your clutch goes bad. They log that, it's covered under warranty, they log it, and then we have that in our warranty review, like X number of dollars were spent on this.
Praise God.
Yeah. Yeah, and with we have a very long warranty on our equipment. Like you look at it, everybody's got a 2-year unlimited warranty.
Which is good, because I'm almost at the 2 year and 2,000 hour. Well, it's almost 2,000 hours. So, oh man, it's going downhill.
Is it 2-year unlimited warranty?
Yes, 2-year unlimited warranty.
Okay, so and that's hours, or is that 2-year time, or is there an hour limit on that?
No hour limit. So 2 years. If you run it 3,000 hours a year.
Okay.
So you run 6,000 in 2 years, which nobody's going to do that.
Okay.
But that it'd still be covered because it's under that 2-year time frame. And
nice.
A lot of other major OEMs do the same thing. But then if, let's say you only run it 200 hours a year, the grandstand is, I think it's 5 years, 1,200 hours. So you could run that, if you run it 200 hours a year, you'll be covered for 5 years.
That. Greg and I were commenting on that. 200 hours a year. There's no way I would run that for 2 months.
Right? So Evan, what I've seen is some of these like very large landscapers. Like we have a customer in Chicago, and I was there a couple months ago, and they buy the MultiForce, take the deck off, Just leave it on the side, put the mulch bucket on it, and that is their mulch crew unit.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I never quite thought about that, Greg. that's it because that's where you get your 200 hours from, is just doing mulch. You're never going to get that. No one's doing 200 hours a year in mulch, are they?
So they do a lot. They do a hell of a lot of mulch.
Wow.
And same thing with, some people have them as dedicated snow units. So
that's cool.
So our warranty is, we take it very seriously, and then we get a lot of feedback from that. Like, okay, clutch issues. Let's say you have a consistent clutch issue. How do you resolve the issue? So then we go back and our design team gets involved, and we make, we do a redesign, a redresser. If there's a couple instances, it's like, okay, this goes kind of in purgatory, and we're going to keep our eye on it.
Now, I'm sorry. What's the limit on that? So clutch comes in, another clutch comes in, 3 clutches come in. Is that, what's your marker? What do you say, okay, hey, we got a problem?
Yeah, it depends on warranty units, claims per unit.
Okay.
Right. So if you have, and then you got to look at, okay, is it under 50 hours? So you look at a segment of units that have under 50 hours and have a warranty claim on it. So it's really based on total volume of the units and just the percentage.
Okay. So, but you're getting all the data. So the guy, the dealer sends it in. We get how many hours are on that machine, and then what are the other factors? Depends on it, I would assume. Depends on other items, but.
Yeah, so I mean, the big thing is hours, and then we'll get some input on usage. Like if something comes in, it's flagged like, oh, okay, Evan was jumping 8-inch curves at 10 miles an hour. Then
Amy, it's probably Greg.
so we'll
only
look at
twice.
That. Well, that was a wild ride. So
I had a dream I'm sorry to interrupt you. I had a dream about a week ago that I was on my mower and I was flying down the hill and hit a bump and airborne. I flew off the mower and my mower just fell apart and it broke in half.
Goodness.
Wasn't a Toro, was it?
No, it was not.
Okay, good.
But it was just kind of funny because I woke up going, did I break my mower?
Was it under 2 years old?
No, it's actually 3 years old. I'm out of warranty, unfortunately.
Okay, well, nightmare.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, but yeah, it was a nightmare. So I'm sorry I interrupted you. But.
No, all good. So yeah, the first question was on warranties and what was, VOC, so voice of the customer.
Yes.
So our engineers go out in the field. Our product managers go out in the field. I mean, all levels of our organization go out in the field. So we'll spend time, if we have a new project coming on.
It's got to be fun. Oh, man.
Evan, it is. So, we'll do focus groups and, for styling on certain mowers or, hey, how's this functionality? With that mulch bucket, we sent it to a number of large customers and that do a ton of mulch. That's
you
how we
send it to me, so it doesn't count.
Well, we thought you'd buy one.
No, I haven't bought one. I'm just being cheap. I can't afford anything right now, sir.
He's hoping you'll take advantage of the $1,000 discount right now.
Probably should.
Yeah. But no, that's how, if you see that MultiForce, you'll notice that there's a door on the front.
Yes.
And it swings down. We got that. That was something that came out of it. Was, hey, I want to pull under the mulch conveyor, and I can't do that. So we made the door that can pop down. You can pull right on our mulch conveyor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To kind of pivot back there, to kind of close this out, though, as we kind of wrap up here, about the hydros on the machine. MultiForce goes great forward. It's touchy, but I noticed the reverse speeds. Did they intentionally dial them back so when you reverse and turn, it's kind of slow? It's not the most. It's no knock. I think it actually saves from swirling up the grass. Is that true, or what was the design on that? It's forward, but when you kind of do a K turn or a 3-point turn, reverse speed is not as touchy as a a Toro rider or an X-Mark rider would be.
Well, give him the example though. Your Cub is different.
Oh, Cub Cadet, the forward speed and the back speed are pretty close. They're both pretty darn fast. So
on the standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the
so
Pro
just
X660,
to give you perspective, that's okay.
So I think the Toro intentionally dialed it back, so you're not swirling up yards and flying off the mower, probably.
Well, and then the other thing is think about safety, right? On a rider, you back into something, which we did yesterday when we were going to get gas down the road here. It's not really the end of the world, but when you're on a stand-on, especially with that flip-up operator platform, you run into something that could be hazardous to the operator.
I've hit rocks before backing up on the MultiForce going slow, so it's probably safe it's going slow rather than flying off, Greg, right?
Yeah. Well, I've dug up some stuff because my deck is down, and I back up if I'm in a ditch area, and I back up, and all of a sudden I'm going, what the heck? And I got dirt all over my deck.
He pulls up sod
because I'm pulling up the side because it didn't quite catch it stayed down.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's the only thing I've done on that. So, but it's I still enjoy. I much more enjoy the standard over a rider.
Yeah.
So what growth have you seen on those in terms of, you said the market's starting to go lean that way. What have you seen over the past 5 years in terms of the growth of standers over the riders?
So the standards have been around 10% a year. And this
Wow.
is not Toro sales, this is just general market trends. So standards have been growing, and it's a lower volume, but it's been growing about 10% a year.
Okay.
And then the riders, it's dependent on the economy, because again, you think about riders up to even $15,000, homeowners are buying them.
Yeah, it's a pretty penny. You have to go to where the direction of the price of steel is going too, because you guys can't make any money, right? So honestly, like that's the truth, right?
Yeah. So it's more that market's more dependent on general economic conditions, whereas the rider or the stand-on market it feels more consistent with that growth.
All right. So Jared, to close, what else do you want to get off your chest, and what wisdom nuggets do you want to leave? What did we not cover? I could have missed something. Greg probably missed something, because Greg's perfect. I'm not. So
I picked that up pretty quick here.
Oh, yeah,
and,
really?
But Evan, you're great too. Don't get me wrong. No, contractors are trying to make money, right? You're not cutting grass. You own a business, and we understand that. And in order to operate your business and make money, you have to have quality equipment. So keeping that in mind, you want equipment that is going to be useful and especially year-round, like MultiForce. But you also have to think about how you manage your business. And so a lot of people try and do it Excel or something like that, or how do you quote? You go out and you look at a property and say, "Wow, I'll walk it off."
Yep.
Right, but so we took more feedback from customers, and we came back and Horizon 360. So if you are a Toro fleet member, you get Horizon 360 business management software for free.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, and you can spec out a property quote. It can help you with billing. I mean, for our battery units, it can tell you if it's charging or not.
That's cool. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a simple. It's a complex but yet simple solution to help people with managing their business. And think about it, at the end of the day, you don't want to work 20 hours a day.
No, I basically do, so it doesn't matter.
Right, so imagine if you could trim 2 hours off and you were working 18.
There we go.
Yeah.
Get
There
2
you go,
hours
yeah.
back.
Yep, there we go.
Right, so it's trying to, our goal, the way we make money is we are trusted by our customers and we support their business. And that's our goal at the end of the day.
Yeah. I'm sorry, battery market. You guys are in that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have our entire Revolution lineups. We have battery rider, the Z Master.
Okay.
And we have a battery grandstand. We've got battery walks, 30-inch, 21-inch. We've got a whole slew of portable power handheld equipment, up to 950 CFM.
Man,
we use
wow.
the backpack blower.
Sheesh.
So yeah, we have the full offering, and that when we connected over there, the trailer right next to you. So that's our battery trailer. We don't
Okay.
offer that for sale, but it shows you if you and all battery, which some people are doing, what a potential trailer could look like and how you would build that infrastructure.
It's a revolution. It's where things are going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jared,
All right.
thank you. It's been a true honor. Guys, thanks.
Evan, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Greg.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.